Imagine you are at a neighborhood barbecue. The sun is shining, there is music playing in the background,
Mhm.
and you are just standing there, perfectly happy, holding a paper plate with a slightly burnt hot dog.
Sounds like a great afternoon, honestly.
It is.
Yeah.
Until a stranger walks up to you. They smile, they hold out their hand, and they ask you the single scariest question in the English language.
Oh no, I know what is coming.
They just look at you and say, "So, tell me about yourself."
Yep. It is a total system failure of the human brain, the absolute definition of a panic moment.
Yep. You are holding this hot dog, and suddenly you completely forget who you are. I mean, you forget what your job is, where you live, and, well, whether you even like hot dogs at all.
It is pure panic. You just stare at them like a deer in the headlights.
Welcome to today's deep dive on the Pocket English podcast. Today, we are looking at some great communication sources and language learning notes to decode the secret to introducing yourself.
Because answering that question requires an actual strategy, whether you are in a really stressful job interview or just trying to survive small talk at a backyard party.
Right. There is a science to how we present ourselves to strangers. And we want to keep it simple, clear, and easy to understand for all our English learners out there.
Exactly. We are going to build a plan step by step.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we can fix the panic, we really need to understand where it comes from. Why does this simple, everyday question make even really confident people freeze up?
Well, it comes down to something called the blank page effect, and it causes a huge overload in your brain.
Brain overload, like too much information at once.
Exactly. Think about the difference between someone asking, "Where are you from?" versus "Tell me about yourself."
Oh, that is very different. If you ask where I'm from, I just say London or Chicago or Tokyo.
Right. It is a simple fact. Your brain just opens a small box, pulls out the answer, and hands it over. There is only one correct answer.
Yeah, I don't have to worry the answer is good enough. It just is what it is.
But, tell me about yourself is entirely different. You are handed a completely blank page, and the human brain really struggles when it has too many choices.
So because you don't know where to start, your brain just goes into overdrive.
Yes. You are trying to guess what details this stranger cares about. Do I talk about my job, my hometown, the fact that my dog was sick this morning?
You are trying to figure all of that out and also trying to guess when you should stop talking. It's just too much to think about.
What's fascinating here is how our different cultures make this even harder. In many cultures around the world, talking openly about yourself is actually considered rude.
Oh, really? Like it is seen as a bad thing?
Yeah, especially if you talk about your achievements or take up too much time, it is viewed as arrogant or bragging.
Right. So for a lot of people, when that question is asked, their brain is screaming at them, don't brag, be modest, be quiet.
Exactly. But that modesty rule completely clashes with Western networking or
Yeah.
typical American small talk.
Because in those situations, the person asking the question is not trying to test if you are arrogant.
No, not at all. They are just trying to find a connection. They are desperately looking for something you both share so the conversation doesn't just die right there.
They just want something to talk about.
Yeah.
But because of that cultural friction, the awkwardness sets in. It reminds me of being an actor.
An actor. How so?
Imagine being pushed onto a stage, handed a microphone, and shoved into the bright lights. But nobody gave you a script.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Right. The audience is staring at you, and you literally have to invent your character and your story right there on the spot.
That is a perfect example. And when people don't have a script, they usually just start listing facts from their life in order, which is almost always a disaster.
So since the main problem is this scary blank page, the lack of a script, we need to build one.
Yes, let's build a clear plan.
Let's start with the most nerve-wracking environment possible, the formal job interview.
Oh, the stakes are so high there. The interviewer is staring right at you, holding your resume, and they drop the question.
Our sources actually share this really funny cautionary tale about a job candidate. We will call him the ultimate oversharer.
The guy who went too far back in time.
Yes. When they asked him to tell them about himself, he started his story way too early. He literally said, well, I was born in a small hospital in 1995.
I mean, that is funny, but you can just hear the interviewer sighing on the inside.
Right. The hiring manager is thinking, we only have 30 minutes, and we're starting at the hospital. We still have to get through high school.
We're never going to hear about your computer skills.
The interviewer does not need to know about your childhood. When they ask us at work, they really mean, tell me about your career and tell me why you want this job.
Exactly. And the sources give us a very simple, clear formula for this. Present, past, future.
Present, past, future. Okay, wait, I have to ask about this. Shouldn't a story go in chronological order?
You mean starting with the past?
Yeah. People usually understand stories that go from the beginning to the middle to the end. Why start with the present, jump back to the past, and then jump forward to the future?
It sounds a bit strange at first, I know. But neurologically, it is exactly what the listener's brain needs.
Okay, break that down for me.
Starting with the present gives them an anchor. It tells them who you are right now. So you say something like, right now, I am a manager at a tech company.
Ah, so you give them a clear box to put you in right away.
Yes. Instead of making them wait 10 minutes to figure out what you do, you give them the most important fact immediately.
That makes sense. Establish your value first.
And once their brain has that anchor, they can relax and listen to the rest. Then you briefly talk about the past.
Briefly being the important word there.
Very briefly. The past is not a list of every job you have ever had. It is just a bridge. You only talk about recent useful experience.
So instead of talking about your summer job at a movie theater when you were a teenager, you say something else.
Right. You say, before this, I spent 3 years in customer service, which taught me how to solve big problems.
You're showing them how you got to where you are today.
Exactly. And that bridge leads us to the most important part of the formula, the future.
The future. This is the why, right?
Yes. Why are you leaving your current job? Why are you applying for this new job today? You finish by saying, and now I am looking to bring my skills to a larger team like yours.
Here's where it gets really interesting. One of the best tricks hidden in these sources is that ending on the future gives you a hard stop.
The hard stop is maybe the best part of this whole plan.
We've all had that terrible moment, right? You finish answering a question, but you don't really know how to end it.
Oh, the trailing off?
Yeah. You run out of facts, you look at the interviewer, they look at you, the silence is awful. So you get nervous and you say, yeah, that's me.
And then you take a very nervous sip of water.
Yes, it just sounds so weak.
It really does. It drains all the confidence out of your answer. When you say, so yeah, your brain knows you stopped talking, but you didn't give the other person a signal to start.
So it is like a traffic jam in the conversation.
Precisely. But when you use the future step, like saying, I'm excited about this position, you're doing something clever.
You are shifting the work back to them.
Yes. You are silently asking, can you give me this future? It naturally makes the interviewer take over the conversation again. You pass the ball back with total confidence.
Okay, so present, past, future is an amazing tool for a job interview. It gives you an anchor, a bridge, and a strong finish.
It works perfectly at the office.
But we have a big problem if we use this outside the office. If you use this highly polished answer at a neighborhood barbecue, you're going to sound completely crazy.
You really are. If I ask about you at a party and you say, I am currently looking to bring my management skills to a new team, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, I would think you were trying to sell me something. So how do we change this for a fun, social setting?
The rules completely change. At a party, the listener is not testing your skills. They are just trying to see if you are friendly.
They just want to know your vibe.
Exactly. You have to pivot away from your resume. You can quickly mention your job, sure, but then you need to talk about your life outside of work.
Your hobbies, the things you actually care about.
Right. The sources introduce a great idea for social events called the hook.
A hook? Like catching a fish.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, offering a hook is a very kind thing to do in a conversation. Think of it like playing catch with a ball.
Okay, playing catch.
Your job is not just to throw the ball. Your job is to throw it so the other person can easily catch it.
Oh, I see. If I just say, I am an accountant from Texas, that is a dead end.
You threw the ball into the woods. The other person now has to work really hard to think of a new question.
Let me try throwing a better ball. What if I say, I work in a bank, but my real passion is baking sourdough bread?
That is a perfect hook. You took all the pressure off the other person.
Because they don't need to know anything about banks.
Exactly. They can just say, oh, baking bread. Is it hard to do? Or, I tried baking last year and I made a huge mess. You gave them an easy path to follow.
But let me ask a question for our listeners. What if I don't have a super interesting hobby?
Like what?
Like what if I don't bake bread? And I don't collect vintage hats? And I don't run marathons? What if my life is just normal? Does a hook have to be dramatic?
Not at all. That is a very common worry, but it is not true. The strategy works because it is human, not because it is crazy or unusual.
So if I say during the week I work in IT, but honestly on the weekends I just love ordering pizza and watching old 90s action movies, does that work?
It works beautifully because it is relatable.
Oh, right, because everyone likes pizza and movies.
Exactly. It still acts as a hook. It invites the other person to say, oh, like Die Hard or The Matrix.
It just opens a door.
The goal isn't to prove you are the most amazing person in the room. The goal is just to show you are friendly and approachable.
And honestly, people might ask this question in a different way at parties,
Right.
right? They might not say, tell me about yourself.
Very true. They might say, what keeps you busy? Or what do you do for fun?
Like the feeling is the same. And the strategy is the same. Just give them a simple human hook.
Now we have a plan for work and a plan for parties.
But a great plan is useless if we say it poorly. How do we make sure we actually sound good when we are nervous?
The most important rule for delivery, no matter where you are, is the time limit. Keep your introduction to about 30 to 60 seconds.
Oh, like a movie trailer.
Exactly like a movie trailer.
When you go to the cinema, the trailer gives you the explosions, the romance, the basic story. It makes you want to see the film.
Right. It does not force you to watch the entire 3-hour movie right then.
We always want to explain too much because our lives feel complicated.
But if they want to know more, they will ask. Keep them wanting more. And during those 60 seconds, try to include your why.
Your why.
Yes. Adding the reason behind what you do makes your introduction much more interesting. It shows your values.
Let me try. If I am a teacher, instead of just saying, I teach middle school math, I could say, I teach math because I really love having the summer vacation.
Well, that is very honest. But maybe not the best first impression.
Good point. How about this? I am a math teacher, and I do it because I absolutely love the moment when a student finally understands a difficult problem. Their face just lights up.
Oh, wow. Yes. That completely changes the feeling. It shows heart.
It shows you actually care.
Yeah.
And passion is interesting, even if the other person hates math.
And notice the words you used? They were simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
No big, confusing words.
That is a trap we fall into when we are nervous, especially for English learners. We try to use big, fancy words to sound smarter.
Like saying optimize or utilize instead of just use.
Exactly. Simple, clear language is always better. Long, complex sentences make it easier to make a mistake or run out of breath.
And your body language is speaking too. Standing up straight, making eye contact, and offering a real smile helps so much before you even speak.
This raises an important question, though. We are talking about formulas and time limits and hooks. How do you make sure you don't sound like a robot?
That is my biggest fear. I don't want to sound like I am reading a script in my head.
The secret to sounding natural is practice. You have to write your plan down and practice it out loud.
Like alone in my room?
Yes. In the shower, in the car, or just recording yourself on your phone. The goal is not to memorize every single word perfectly. It is to build muscle memory.
Practice makes confident.
Exactly. When your mouth is used to saying these words, your brain doesn't have to work as hard, and you will feel much less nervous.
But let's be real. Even with practice, sometimes you just get nervous. What if someone asks the question and you just freeze?
If you freeze, use the best trick of all. Just admit it.
Really? Just tell them.
Yes, just smile and say, I am so sorry. My brain just went completely blank. I am just really excited to be here today.
Or maybe I haven't had enough coffee yet today to remember my own name.
Yes, it totally removes the awkwardness. Because everyone has felt that way before.
We are all human. Admitting you are nervous makes people like you more, and it takes the pressure off.
It gives you a moment to breathe and reset.
So what does this all mean? Let's bring everything we've learned together today.
You now have a full toolkit for introducing yourself.
You understand the blank page effect, and you know not to start your story at the hospital you were born in.
Right. For work, you use present, past, future. Give them an anchor, build a quick bridge, and share your future goals to naturally hand the conversation back.
And for parties or social events, you pivot away from the resume. You give them the human hook, like baking bread or watching old movies so they can easily ask a follow-up question.
And you keep the whole movie trailer under 60 seconds.
With all that in mind, I want to challenge you, yes, you listening to this right now, we want you to practice this today.
It is the best way to learn.
So, can you introduce yourself in English? Tell us your name, where you're from, and one interesting thing about yourself. Go to the comments right now and throw us your hook.
I can't wait to read those. And as you practice your new 60-second introduction, think about this deeper idea.
Oh, a philosophical thought to end on. I like it.
We spend so much time worrying about how other people will judge us when we introduce ourselves. We worry if we sound smart enough.
Right, we just want them to like us.
But think about the story you are telling. When you create this short movie trailer of your life, how does that story actually change you?
Oh, wow.
Are you just telling people who you are? Or does the story you choose to tell actually decide the person you will become in the future?
That is something really powerful to think about. Remember to keep practicing your English every single day.
Yes, practice makes confident.
And if you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe to Pocket English Podcast for more everyday English listening practice. Thanks for joining our deep dive today, and we will see you next time. Imagine